Hello, my name is Candice, and I'm the Assistant Director of the University Commons here at Millikan University. I'm a 2014 grad of Millikan University, and I am a 2017 grad of Loyola University of Chicago with a master's in higher education. I started my career in college unions here at Millikan University as a building manager in the Richard Treat University Center, which is no longer standing, unfortunately. And then I worked at Norris University Center during my graduate assistantship at Northwestern University in the Recreation and Programming Department. I ended up coming back to Millikan for this particular position because I felt like it was a good challenge to have straight out of my master's program. Here, part of my responsibilities are campus scheduling, overseeing the reservation system for the entire university. I serve as a student development advisor for about 40 students who meet with me monthly. And then I also serve on the on-call rotation here at Millikan University with 7 other individuals, which is very exciting for me because that was a new experience. So I think my friends and colleagues would describe me as someone who's caring, developmental, and thoughtful in my approach. In the last year, I've had a lot of kind of on the ground training of different counseling and facilitation skills. Coming into this position, I did not have any res life experience at all. So when you kind of get thrown into an on-call rotation, it was very different for me and a very hard learning curve. During that time, I've experienced a lot of what we call trial by fire. I've had a lot of experiences that I've never had before, such as transporting students to the behavioral health floor here at one of our local hospitals, to dealing with a suicide attempt and responding to that situation and going to the hospital with that student, all the way down to roommate disagreements and having to remove a roommate for the night to sleep somewhere else. But when I do approach those situations, I always remember that I do need to be caring and thoughtful in my approach, but also developmental. So with those roommate disagreements, yes, it's midnight and everybody does want to go to bed, but I don't feel comfortable leaving a situation where everybody's angry with each other. So how can we sit down and discuss our issues? How can we work through them, and what's our plan going forward? And sometimes our plan going forward is just waking up and not turning the lights on until 7 a.m. when we've agreed upon it, and then going to see the residential coordinator for that area to continue a plan going forward. I'm a lot of boots on the ground, what's happening at midnight, and then I can help them find resources during the day for them to utilize. I would describe myself as someone who is ready to learn first and foremost. Coming into this position, of course, I had no res life experience, so it was completely a new world for me to learn how to counsel students on the fly, essentially, which is sometimes a lot of what residence life and duty professionals do, and which is what I've learned how to do. It took 9 months, but I'm pretty confident now in my abilities to counsel. I am also very prepared. So another example with our duty schedule, I always have my duty go bag, which contains my work laptop, a notebook, my name tag, and a polo in case I do get a call in the middle of the night. I also have a process that I built with my building managers for me to be able to hand off the building every night and know that things are taken care of and that they have all the information they need. And I also am a people pleaser, so I do know this about myself, and I think people pleaser is another way for me to say I care about people and how they feel when they interact with me. So I handle all the events that happen in our largest banquet room on campus, and I want to make sure that every internal and external client feels like they've taken care of, and I've gone above and beyond to try to make sure that they have every need that they have met. for their particular event. Rather, if it's a student group, all the way up to a president, all the way up to a CEO of a company who's having their interns have a camp here, which is something we have coming up. I would describe my facilitation style as pretty quiet. I prefer to allow students the chance to talk and breathe when we're in a group. I do a lot of small group facilitation previously with my Emerging Leaders program and with the Greek Leadership Institute that I've been a part of. I've also done some facilitation for groups such as supervisor training at Norris University Center, and then facilitation groups within classrooms. I like to prompt students with starting off with a question, hopefully a thoughtful question that their thoughts can go in different directions in, and then trying to make sure that they feel confident and comfortable enough to speak their mind, but also being thoughtful of the others in the space and how your words do affect people. I prefer to sit back and let the conversation flow unless I feel like it's getting redundant or it's going in a direction that I might feel is not actually developmental for anybody, and try to redirect. But I don't feel like I need to add in much of my opinion unless I feel like my opinion will help the conversation continue on. And actually with my Emerging Leaders program, my student facilitators did most of the facilitating. I did the large group facilitation in that one, which was actually me maybe just giving a little bit of background to what we were doing, or telling them a little bit of a story, or showing them a video, kind of leading a conversation there. I like to do my facilitation in a circle, sometimes sitting on the floor, sometimes in chairs. I don't like any barriers in between me and the other individuals because I think that helps build a wall, and I want to try to break walls down. And in our Greek Leaders program, I did facilitate a small group there that I had that whole weekend, and we were able to really bond as a group and talk about some issues, specifically pertaining to social justice, which is really close to Loyola's particular mission. So doing those was really interesting as well. My best experience I've ever had with students has actually been in this particular position. So I got to walk into a pretty well-developed student employment program by my supervisor. So I had 10 students, well at the time 9, but now 10 senior building managers that I get to work with on a daily basis, and I just really enjoy interacting with them, and they have taught me so much more than I think I've taught them in the last 9 months. They really know our program, and they are paraprofessionals on this campus, and we really do believe in performance learning here. So I've given them the opportunity to do that. And I have 5 senior building managers that serve with me and help me oversee the campus scheduling program, and they have given me their thoughts on opinions and how I can improve our current system, which we are going to implement now, which is part of our performance learning, and what we believe in here at Millikan. But I really have enjoyed my experiences here and the relationships that I've created with those students, and I look forward to the next couple of years with them and what that looks like and how many changes we can make then. That's really done through them, because I really can't do my job without them. So thank you so much, and you guys have a wonderful weekend.